Welcome to the Butterfly Effect. I'm Chris Horner, and this is Stage 1 Tour of Suisse. It's a time trial, 10.9 kilometers in length, and it's pancake flat, but it's got its obstacles out there, and I'll talk about that soon. First, I want to talk about Dauphine and Tour of Suisse because they overlap. Now, I always prefer Tour of Suisse because you had to come to Tour of Suisse with good form. You had an extra week to prepare to get ready for the Tour of Suisse versus Dauphine. It came a little bit sooner when we're talking about my rest time just before Dauphine started. So like I said before, the Butterfly Effect, I'd get about 2 good weeks of training, if not 3, and then start Dauphine and do some hard training, use that for some hard training. When I arrived at Tour of Suisse during my career, I would already have a hard week block of training, and then I would be arriving at Tour of Suisse. In 2005, when I rode for Saunier Duval, I did U.S. Pro Championships. I was riding on fantastic form there. It was my comeback after breaking my leg with the team, and it was really the only time the team had seen me all year. I'd been there with the team for about 2 weeks of racing, but broke my leg and then left at the beginning of the season. I had missed training camp before that, so I'd been gone the whole time. Then I did U.S. Pro Championships. I was on form and just flying at U.S. Pro Championships, but missed winning the Jersey and ended up finishing 3rd place in a break of 3. Now, when I arrived at Tour of Suisse, I was flying on great form, and I go straight up to the director and I say, Machine, I want to do the Tour de France. And he tells me, no chance of you doing the Tour de France. The team's already picked. Each stage went by. He could see I was riding good. I'd finish the stage. I'd go up to the director and say, I'm ready to do the Tour de France. Put me on the list. He'd tell me, nope. He did that. I asked him 5 times, at 5 days in a row, multiple times after each stage, and he kept telling me no. Stage 6 came, finished on a summit climb. It was a beautiful, hard climb. I dropped Vincenzo Nibali, the last guy to stay with me, and soloed up to win this stage and keep this jersey with me for life now. Right after Machine comes up, he comes to the podium ceremony. I look at the director straight in the eye and I go, give him a little eye. I didn't even have to say anything. He goes, yes, you're doing the Tour de France. I said, thank you. So Tour of Suisse holds something special in my heart. Went in the stage. Switzerland's always treated me nice. Romandy treated me nice. Switzerland itself, with the Grand Tour here, has treated me nice, and all the races in Spain. One other thing about Swiss compared to Dauphine, the hotels are amazing. The food is spectacular. Normally the hotels are mom and pop, small ones, so you don't have all of the teams crowded in at the hotel. And so the rooms are nice, the beds are nice, the views are spectacular. If it's sunny during the week of Tour of Suisse, it's amazing. Now, that's the differences between Dauphine and Suisse, so that's why I always preferred Suisse. But remember, these guys racing Tour of Suisse, they don't have much time to get ready for the Tour de France, so they better be sharp here if they plan on being good at the Tour de France. Now let's get to the racing. When I come on and I'm sitting on the couch, it's Stefan Bissinger there, and the EF Education rider is in the hot seat. He's did a blazing time.
Prepare ship for light speed.
No, light speed is too slow.
Light speed too slow?
Yes, we're gonna have to go right to ludicrous speed.
And he's race leader at this moment. Guys coming behind him. Tom Dumoulin can't beat the times. He's 34 seconds off, I believe was his time. Then after that, it's Stefan Kuhn, another Stefan that's back there. And if you remember right, Stefan Kuhn, he had crashed at Tour of Romandy, Stage 3 on the white line, going down the descent, coming very near the finish, about 15K from the finish there. He had one more small climb to go over, and the field had left the gap a little bit big, and Stefan Kuhn is a strong, powerful rider. He had crashed on that descent. Now, I bring this up because that wasn't that long ago, and I get asked many times as a professional rider, when you crash, is it hard to go through the corners again afterwards? And I always say mentally you feel it, but I'm always able to push it aside in races. And we're going to see here with Stefan Kuhn, because he is flying on this course. He splits the island before the left turn, dives in the left turn, and shoots out back on the pedals, and he is driving all the way to the finish. He'll catch his Minuteman in front before the finish line, and he'll blaze across the finish line to be new race leader on today's stage. Fantastic time, pulling 5-6 seconds faster than the other Stefan Bissinger who had the hot seat before him. Now, there's still some more riders to go, and it's Julian Alaphilippe, and you know he's got to be here on good form because the Tour de France is around the corner. Alaphilippe's flying through the corners, comes to the line for 5th place, only 19-20 seconds off the race leading time of Stefan Kuhn. Still some more favorites back there, but Julian Alaphilippe is the big rider getting the best time for GC, guys. And keep that in mind because tomorrow's stage will be really interesting. Behind Julian Alaphilippe, the last few riders to go off, Mattia Cattaneo, my old teammate from 2014 with Lamprey, he's changed his physique massively from back in the day at 2014. When we were teammates, he was as thin as my pinky here. It was unbelievable how small this kid was. Now he's no longer a kid. He's grown up and filled out, and he is blazing down this TT course as he comes into the finish line and finishes third on today's stage. Deceuninck Quick-Step end up being third on the stage and fifth on the stage with Julian Alaphilippe, but nobody is left back there that can challenge the time of Stefan Kuhn. The FDJ rider just blazed it to the finish and rode with wings all the way to the finish line to take a great opening stage and race leader's jersey at Tour of Suisse. Now, something special about Stefan Kuhn, his home is only 1 kilometer from this course, so you know it's got to feel good to win in front of your family and friends around your hometown. He'll take a great win, but keep in mind, tomorrow's stage is super interesting. It's about 175 kilometers in length, but there's a very hard 8.5% climb there, about 2.5K long near the finish, and that's going to open up some very complicated tactics at the finish because I got to believe Deceuninck Quick-Step should just control the whole stage tomorrow and light this thing up. If Julian Alaphilippe has form, he's fifth on today's stage, only about 19-20 seconds back from first place. We're near the Tour de France, so he's got to be on form. When you ride a time trial like this, that fast, that strong, you got to believe he's got good legs to put in a massive attack on tomorrow's 8.5% climb at the finish there. So they're going to have to go down the descent, but we know Julian Alaphilippe can go up, and we know he can go down, and it looks like he's on fantastic form with this result. Should be an exciting stage in tomorrow's Tour of Suisse, so the action and the battling for the GC riders is already starting up. Now remember, Tom Dumoulin came here. He was retired, not retired, just needed a little break back there to rest ahead. He's back. We'll see if he can go good. He had a solid time trial today, only losing about 30-35 seconds back there. Ineos with Richard Carapaz is here. Did a solid time trial again. 30-35 seconds back there, right around Tom Dumoulin, only about 15 seconds off of Julian Alaphilippe. Those are the three big GC guys results on today's stage to look forward to in tomorrow's stage. And with an 8.5 kilometer percent pitch there, whoever came here that's racing for GC better have their legs sharp and ready to go for tomorrow's stage 2 at Tour of Suisse. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys real soon today for last stage of Dauphine. NBC had some problems with their streaming. I wasn't able to see it yet. I'm going to search for it right here when I get off and start uploading Tour of Suisse. I'll watch the last stage of Dauphine, and I'll get that to you guys here really soon on the butterfly effect if all goes well. See you guys soon.